Well, the conversation has turned a little bit less about her being a woman and more about what are we doing for Black people. I think, and Kamala Harris has said over and over that she wants to earn Black men's votes. So I want to tell you a little bit about what she wants to actually do for Black men. I will tell you, I think she is the first presidential candidate in the history of America to release an agenda just for Black men, talking
That
about
agenda was fake. That agenda was fake, and
Hey,
that
it was
agenda is
funny.
for
Hey,
everybody.
they say,
So
and
the
other
campaign
Americans.
came out and said it's
Hey,
for
Wait, hold on, hold on.
everyone.
Okay,
wait,
okay, hold on. Let,
let's
let her
go.
finish. Let her finish. Let her finish.
Hey, ABL, let's let her finish that thought first, and I want to let you guys come back in here. Ashley, go ahead. She was the first. You said she was the first president that released an agenda for Black men.
for Black men. Yes, because she doesn't take the vote for granted. Then when people was like, everybody's like, oh, I want policy. So in there is access to capital because we know Black people don't have, like, we get 1% of venture capital, if that, and Black women get a 0.2% of venture capital access to money. It's talking about expanding government contracts for Black people. It's talking about creating pathways for Black men to become teachers and get into the classroom. Canceling student loan debt is for everybody, but hey, Black people got student loan debts, and for Pell Grants, a lot of HBCUs. We know Joe Biden has given more money to HBCUs than Donald Trump did, even though he likes to say he did. Joe Biden gave almost 7 times as much money to Black folks. So I will say in this country,
oh, you forgot someone. You forgot some of the agenda. The weed. They're gonna
yes,
legalize weed.
I wasn't
Gonna,
actually finished. I
gonna
wasn't
smoke weed
finished.
and get crypto coins.
I wasn't finished. Actually, she did talk about legalizing weed, which is why it's really important, because if you actually go to the Pence Vance website and you look at what's on there in terms of criminal justice reform, they want to bring back stop and frisk. They want to federalize people who have conversations that might be involved with drug in the drug community. They want to bring the
What does
death
that mean?
penalty.
Hold on. What does that mean? Conversations, like, what does that mean?
Yeah, like if you're on, if you have people that are affiliated in the drug system in your community and you're there, you, because it's a federalized crime, you could be part of that RICO charge.
They're doing what? You're not giving me the full story.
That is the full story. That's the problem, is that
They're doing what?
Not breaking the law, but he would change. He wants to change the statute so that if you're even in proximity to someone selling drugs, that you could be a part of that RICO case.
That ain't nothing new. Everybody, that's regular. Like, okay, if somebody got a trap house and you there, you can get locked up too. Everybody know that. I don't
want that. And you okay with that?
That's nothing new. That's been going on. That's not Trump.
And you're okay.
I mean,
it's on his website. It's on his website.
Are you okay with that, ABL?
I mean, look, if you're in the trap house, you know where you at, so you shouldn't be there.
It doesn't even have to be the trap house. It could be you're at your friend's house and the person who sells drugs, who's from the trap house, comes. This is what we're talking about.
Well, I don't want nobody's. I don't hang around people that sell drugs. I don't hang around crack sellers. I don't hang around guys that sell fentanyl. I'm sorry. So
everything that they put out for Black people is just, all of us are just, we're all doing drugs, we're all criminals, we're all that. They don't speak to the middle class or the upwardly mobile Black person.
Everything I just said was about the middle class.
If you sell crack for a living, you good.
Hold tight, Avia.
That agenda was not for Black men, so that is a lie. That is an outright lie that agenda was put together for Black men. Not in the agenda itself, it says it's for others. The campaign came out and said it's for everybody. So how is that a specific agenda for Black men?
Well, if you know anything about the way the federal government works and the way federal statutes, you actually can't make things, it will be challenged in the court. You know how people don't want DEI, all the removal of, like, making sure everything is race neutral, making sure affirmative action doesn't exist. So you can't actually apply laws a lot of times in the federal government that are specific to certain constituencies.
They did it for Asian Americans. They did it for Native Americans.
But let me tell you,
Jewish Americans, but they don't do it for Black people.
The Asian American statute actually falls under the larger federal hate crime statute. So it just provided a very distinct protection to Asian Americans.
Then why lie and say it's for Black men? Why lie and say it's for Black men?
It's not a lie, because the application.
It's for Black men, but it's not just for Black men.
Can I finish?
That's what you're saying.
No, I didn't say that. That's what you said. What I am saying is that the application of it disproportionately will benefit Black men. And it was written in such a way, it was written actually by Black men. I know the men who wrote it. So that it would actually, when you look at the things like sickle cell and prostate exams and all of those things, those are issues that disproportionately affect Black men. So they talked about the things that Black men are disproportionately affected by, and they presented policy proposals. I'll just say, I'd love to see Donald Trump's Black male plan.
Well, we
And
know
then maybe
Kamala's is to lock up Black men in mass incarceration in California. It's to
that's
lock up parents
disinformation.
for truancy. And every
That's
time she'll bring it up,
disinformation.
she never clarifies her record. She'll say it's not true. People say it's not true. But
I can
then
clarify
she
it.
doesn't give the specific numbers. Like, I just don't get the Kamala.
Now, Melody, actually, let's stop. Let's actually go into that, because just personally, I know that is something that a lot of Black
Yes.
men are concerned about, because the whole aspect of mass incarceration, when you think about the like the state of our community, the Black community, actually, for many of us, we probably consider it a matriarch, because so many women have had to lead the community, because a lot of us credit that to mass incarceration and the prosecutors and all the policies and laws that were passed, which Kamala's thrown into that. Is it fair to attach mass incarceration and Black men getting locked up for petty crimes to Kamala?
When you look at the actual numbers, the people who were arrested when she was the district attorney are 1,500 for drug use. When you look at how many were Black men, it's 45. So it is below the national average for incarceration for Black men. But what's most importantly is that when you look at back when she was, remember, my career is in criminal justice reform. So there used to be a thing where you lock people up and you throw away the key. Well, what Kamala Harris did as one of the first district attorneys in the country, which other people started to jump on, is she started doing anti-recidivism and pro reentry programs, so that when you did serve your time and you came back into the community, you could get a job. You didn't have to worry about the box preventing you from not being hired because you had a formal felony conviction. You could find housing. You could have visits with your family. So that is a myth that has been out there, and unfortunately, to the Melody's point about TikTok, it's like, just because you got a microphone in front of your mouth don't mean you telling the truth. So we do need to do our research. This is one of the reasons why I wanted to come on. To D1's point, there are a lot of undecided voters, and I just want you to go in, knowing the facts and not hearing he said, she said. Whatever you decide to do, I hope you vote, because that's what our democracy lives and breathes on. And I hope we accept the results of the election. But the fact that people are saying that Kamala Harris attacked and tried to over incarcerate Black men is actually false. It is just not
Now,
true.
the other point was about the truancy thing that she did. So what was that all about?
So the truancy was, there was this high rate of children. I've done a lot of things. I got a lot of Black jobs out here. I'm a former school teacher in Bedford-Stuyvesant, Brooklyn. And when you teach, you know that you are supposed to keep daily attendance to make sure students were coming to school. What Kamala Harris found was that there was high truancy rates, that it was just fine in the city. It was just acceptable. People just accepted the fact that Black students weren't going to class and just saying, like, as a city, whatever, they don't care about the Black kids. So Kamala Harris put a program together where she got strict with Black parents, or parents in general, if they had an ongoing, I think it was 30 days where they were missing school. If you miss school for 30 days, the likelihood that you will graduate from that grade, you will get set back. You won't be able to read at reading level, pass and go to college if you want to. If you don't have a third grade reading level by the time you are in third grade, you're going to already fall behind your peers. So that was a case to actually get Black kids in school to work with parents. Now, I know there's like one case out there that this woman did the commercial where she said she was arrested, but that also has been debunked.
You're speeding past the actual point. I want to know what was the plan? Like what did Kamala want to do to enforce the truancy situation? We got to get to the core of it.
There were many steps. And the step that everybody talks about was that she arrested parents, and that's just not the case.
So basically,
she worked with parents.
Yes,
so basically, the threat was
I said there was
parents. The threat was the parents are going to get locked up for their kids being truant. Now, I've never in my life heard about somebody getting locked up for truancy, and it wasn't. It's the parents getting locked up because the kids are truant. And furthermore, if the kids are not going to school for that long, they're not learning anything at all anyway. They need to be going to a trade school or something like that. I would advocate for more of those.
They're in the third grade.
It don't matter.
Special about this, and they featured parents who this happened to under Kamala Harris. I was shocked.
Black parents.
I was shocked about this.
Black parents
It
got
actually
locked
showed
up because of Kamala
Latino
Harris.
parents as well that this happened to.
I think it's crazy that the fact that we want Black kids to actually go to school and get an education is controversial right now. But
So
okay.
we're gonna lock Black parents up. So that's fine. That's fine. The parents getting locked up. The Black parents getting locked up is fine.
So
But
guys,
that wasn't what happened.
When,
So nobody got locked up.
when Donald Trump got cooked by Kamala Harris in that debate that they had, you saw that the dude that normally likes to bully people, he was on the ropes, and he didn't want to do another debate after that. And he started with this delusional notion that he won the debate and he's not doing any more debates after this because he didn't want that smoke. And with that being said, it's because she came to him. Everyone talks about what are Kamala's policies. Well, when Trump is put on the spot about what are his policies, where do you stand when it comes to this issue or that issue, he starts lying through his teeth. He starts just flip-flopping from things he said previously, not being coherent, not making sense. And all of his supporters, for some reason, don't have an issue with that. They ignore the lies. They ignore
What lies? Be specific.
What lies? Bro, when people ask Trump about abortion, for example, Trump, it depends on what day of the week it is. Some days he's, oh yeah, I'm for abortion after 15 weeks. Then it's like, well, no, after 6 weeks. Then it's, no, well, we're not going to put a federal ban on abortion. Then it's, okay, well, it's make your mind up. The election.
Obama promised.
So,
that the
in
first
fact,
thing he would
hold on,
do
wait,
in
1
office
second.
is to codify Roe v. Wade, and he never did it.
So check this out.
He ran on that like Kamala did.
right on time,
So if you
right
wanna
on
talk about
time,
lies,
Melanie.
we can go there.
Well, we're gonna continue
Right-
that
right on
conversation.
time. Right on time.
Deflect. You're deflecting, Melanie King.
How am
You're
I deflecting? I literally
I'm talking
said
about Trump
Obama is now
flip-flopping on that
campaigning
issue.
actively.
And you're talking about what Kamala did.
actively campaigning
You hear
for
me?
Roe v. Wade, and he said, he promised, he ran on this, that he would codify Roe v. Wade. And
That's last
and
election.
Hold on, wait, hold on, wait.
He said it was the first thing he
Guys.
did. Did he do it?
Hold on, wait. I really,
We're gonna talk about this.
I really want y'all to slow it down right here because we actually, y'all taking us into our final topic.